Hey y'all, welcome to the shop. I've got a KTM 1290 Super Duke R in for some service work. And one of the things that I often see overlooked on these big twins is the clutch lubrication jet. It's a small jet on the left side of the motor that you have to take out and clean periodically. So if you've just changed your oil and you're getting some grabby shifting or notchy shifting, or it's hard to find neutral, it might be time to clean your clutch jet. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to clean the clutch jet in your Super Duke. Here are the tools I use to get this done, minus my air compressor, of course. It's a fairly straightforward job, but you do have to be careful with some bits. As usual, you can find the links to the products I used in the description. The service manual says to do this at the first service and every 15,000 kilometers after that. The bolt on the bottom is a little bit shorter, so keep that in mind. So I'm going to rotate this clamp up out of the way and pull the cover out. You're going to want to pull out and up a little bit. It'll pop right out. So the idea is we're wanting to clean this, so we don't want to get any stuff down in the motor. You can see that little plug right there. That's what we're going to take out, and the clutch jet is underneath that. I'll take my blow nozzle and blow away any debris or anything loose that's on there first. Okay, now I'm gonna get my microfiber and clean around the area as much as possible. Pretty clean. Now we need a 5mm hex to remove that plug. Then we'll be able to take the clutch jet out. Just like with almost everything in life, there's multiple ways to skin this cat, and you'll notice that this plug is pretty close to the cylinder, and it's going to be pretty difficult to get most tools in there and get it out. There's a couple ways you could approach this. If you had a 1/4-inch swivel socket, that would probably, like wobble socket, that would probably work pretty well. But I have these long ball end 3/8 sockets. So this is what I'm going to be using to get it out. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to torque it back in properly with this, but sometimes you got to do what you got to do. As you can see, this plug is in an awkward spot and can be a bit of a pain to get at. Once you figure out the right tools, make a note in your service manual of what you used. Now you can see the hole where the clutch jet goes is exposed. So KTM sells a special tool for this, but I am not going to buy that. I use one of these large flathead bits and a 1/4-inch wrench and take it out that way. So what you want to do, drop the bit down in there by hand and get it slotted in place. Once you're sure it's on there, you're gonna slide the wrench down over it like so, and then push down on the top of it while you loosen it. It should not be very tight. Once you get it broke loose, you can just thread it out by hand. Okay, once you've got it threaded out, you'll feel it at the end of the threads. And so it's brass, so of course you can't pull it out with a magnet. But I got another trick for you. There's a few ways to do it, but on this one, I'm going to take and just gently pop him out of there with the air. There it goes. Uh-oh. While I fish this out, I should mention the technique I used to pop that jet right out. If you noticed, I held the nozzle at an angle and to the edge of the hull to pop the jet right out. There it is. Got him out. There it is. And you can see it's basically just like a big main jet in a carburetor. And so I'll take carb cleaner and clean it up and reinstall it. Alrighty. Clean as a whistle, as they say around here. You want to hold it up to the light, hold it up to a bright light, and make sure you can see through it. There we go. Now all we got to do is drop it back in there. Take our bit. So I'll usually spin it backwards until I feel the threads engage. There we go. And then you just thread it in until it seats out. There is actually a torque spec for this. It's 4 Newton meters. So if you're so inclined, you can torque it. But I'm gonna snug him up here and be done with it. But I'll tell you this, 4 Newton meters is not very tight. So be careful. Okay, clutch jet's back in. We're gonna take our little plug, make sure the O-ring's in good condition. This one's, I mean, it's a pretty new bike, so it's fine. Then we're gonna put that back in there. Okay. Now, again, there's a torque spec for this too. It's 10 Newton meters, but of course I torqued it properly. Due to the confined nature though, I had to use my finely calibrated elbow. Now we're gonna put the countershaft sprocket cover back on it. We'll put our bolts back in. Remember, the bottom one's the short one, and that's because this hose here goes on the top. That started. The torque spec on these is 10 Newton meters. All right, there we go. Clean your clutch jet. It's worth noting that this process is largely similar on most of the KTM Big Twins, even all the way back to the 950. So go check your jets. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and like, subscribe, and don't forget to click that bell icon so you don't miss any of our new videos.